place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
First of all, I want to go ahead and give full props to Laughingstock Media. They came up with this video called What If a Cell Jr. Survived? And essentially they're talking about, or he's talking about, if a Cell Jr. survived the carnage that Teen Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan, committed on the Cell Juniors, and then how would that incorporate in Dragon Ball Z? Well, I really like this video, so I wanted to go ahead and give them, again, props. I have a link to their video in the description below, plus a link to his YouTube page. Go ahead and subscribe. But in this video, I wanted to go ahead and come up with an interesting story on how this would incorporate itself into Dragon Ball Super. So first things first, the Cell Jr., how does he survive? So Cell creates a finite number of Cell Juniors and they all get obliterated. So making another Cell Jr. come out of nowhere is a little bit tough. It definitely can't come from Cell, so the only real place they can come from is a Cell Jr. just coming back as a Cell. Gohan didn't obliterate him completely, one of the Cell Juniors, and they come back. They see that Gohan has completely murdered Cell. Like, say he comes back when they're doing their Kamehameha clash, so Cell Jr. decides to leave Earth because he doesn't want to get destroyed, and he teleports to different planets. Now, he can have this ability because he got revived from a Cell, and he's got the instant transmission because his dad, regular Cell, has already seen the instant transmission, and when he came back, he had the instant transmission as well. So he goes to different planets and he amasses a following by defeating strong bad guys or strong good guys on different planets. He also decides to go ahead and up his training because he wants to get stronger and stronger, so he decides to just continuously blow himself up to get that Saiyan Zenkai boost, so he can go ahead and keep getting stronger and stronger. Through this, he gains a new form, which is the form that you're seeing now on screen, which, I mean, it doesn't have to be this form. He can honestly just be in the regular Cell form, but I would like him to be a little bit smaller and be skinnier, sort of like Kid Buu or whatever, and definitely blue. But if he had this form, it'd be pretty cool, like a brand new form for Cell Jr., and I would like this form to be called Cell Blue. And I think it would be really cool if he speaks telepathically. Remember, the Cell Juniors have they speak sort of like Kid Buu. They don't have linguistic skills, so it'd be interesting to see him evolve, and then really, because he's, you know, he has psychic abilities because he comes from Frieza as well. So if he develops those psychic abilities, and instead of talking normally, because he really can't talk normally because his voice box or whatever, or his speech really isn't developed, and the psychic abilities are really well developed, it'd be cool for him to talk through that, sort of like Mewtwo from Pokemon. And then the last thing I would like to see him is, I would like to see him sort of revert back to his first form, but like in a mini version. The reason for this would be very similar to Frieza, as Frieza is in his first form, and then he kind of reserves power in that form, and then he continuously upgrades himself into higher and higher forms. So I feel like that would be pretty cool to kind of get that from Frieza. And this Cell, basically Cell Blue or Cell Jr., is a little bit more modeled around Frieza. That's kind of how I pictured him. Eventually he reaches his limit from blowing himself up. He can only blow himself up and gain Zenkai boost through the Saiyan ability for so long, so he decides to go ahead, him and his band decide to go ahead and fight the Frieza Force because they're stronger guys. And this kind of correlates into the Frieza Force talking about how they're losing planets and this and that, and there's rebellions everywhere. So it'd be pretty cool to have this also incorporated. And the reason that the Kais and Beerus and Whis really can't detect Cell Blue is because he's in this preserved small version of himself, so all his power is kind of locked away, so he can't be detected very easily. I wanted to go ahead and give a quick shout out to Jay the Gray on the Omni King Faces and Army of Merge Zamazu's video, which is my last video, and he comments, "Finally, Toyotaro can blow away the anime. The anime's power scaling, pacing, and power displays feats are ass. Only good thing from the anime is 17 and Gohan being relevant again, and their presence isn't perfect in this." So my thoughts on that is that the manga version had time to sort of see what the anime version got wrong or didn't explain fully, and then the manga version explained things a little bit better. When it comes to 17 and Gohan, Gohan had a more believable track to gaining power and gaining strength again, while 17 kind of was a little bit of an ass pull for the most part. He came out of nowhere, and honestly, since he became so powerful so randomly and so quickly, we should have a whole arc or a whole segment kind of talking about what makes the androids power rise up to even the level of gods. So those 17 is more of the character that I think that the anime sort of didn't explain fully, as well as Trunks' rage mode or Super Saiyan Rage also didn't explain fully, but the manga actually does explain things when it comes to Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God, how Goku Black became Super Saiyan Rose. It explains things a little bit better, and it skips over the Golden Frieza stuff, and it makes the Battle of Gods arc like extremely finite, while putting more emphasis on the Universe 6 tournament and the Goku Black arc. So I personally, for me, I'm kind of torn, but I think I like the manga just a little bit better because it's almost like the Kai version of Dragon Ball Super, the anime. And lastly, if he does come back in Dragon Ball Super, and I would definitely like him to be coming back obviously after the Tournament of Power. So depending on whether Universe 7 gets destroyed or erased, or it doesn't get erased, I think erasure should be something that's prominent for this character in Dragon Ball Super. So what do I mean by that? Well, he can't be erased, or he can be erased, but he comes back because his cells are strong enough to really resist erasure. So when he comes back though from being erased, he is a lot stronger because of the fact that it took this sort of godly divine power to erase him. So, you know, instead of blowing himself up, or like how he was doing, blowing himself up and getting that Zenkai boost, he reached the limit of that. Now he's got this new limit of being erased. He gets even more tremendous Zenkai boost. So in this way, he can like be more of a match for the gods, and maybe in this way he can get God Ki. And this is just all spitballing, but if Universe 7 does get destroyed and he is in Universe 7, I would like him to kind of survive that destruction or that erasure. But if Universe 7 does survive, I think it'd be cool if he came back and he fought, like say there's a time skip, he comes back and fights Goten, Trunks, Pan, Bulla, and Marin, and he's completely wiping the floor with them, and the other Z fighters say they're either training or doing something else, that they really can't fight in this battle. And so Beerus comes and tries to erase him, or he does erase him, thinking that he Hakai's him, and then he comes back immediately, and they realize that he can't be erased, but he comes back even stronger than before. And of course, I don't want to make him a match for Beerus right off the bat. Like, I want him to get stronger and stronger, kind of like Zamasu. But at some point, obviously, you don't want him to win because he's the bad guy. So I think the only way that they could do it is the way where they try to do it with Zamasu, where they imprison him and they put him in some sort of jail or prison or something like that, or jar or whatever. So that's kind of my story for what I would imagine if a Cell Jr. survived from Dragon Ball Z all the way through Dragon Ball Super, how I would like to see it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see if a Cell Jr. did survive, or what kind of abilities or things you would like to see from Cell Blue. Drop me a like if you liked my video, and this is going to be Dragon Ball Black signing off.